everybody. Today I'm going to focus on a special population of people, especially women, is prenatal and birth recovery or postnatal. Now, that doesn't mean that if you don't fall into that category, man or woman, that you couldn't get benefit from this workout. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of great pieces to this, but this is kind of a little bit more, I'm going to speak a little bit more to the women out there who are keeping those babies all protected inside. And then also, you're going to see most of this work if you're feeling well and you talk to your doctor and they say it's okay. When you're ready, you can continue and do this work after you have that baby. So as always with all workouts, you want to make sure that you are consulting with your physician. Otherwise, we'll get started. So we're going to start standing up. So you're going to find yourself up against a wall. We're going to do some wall slides. So again, this is beneficial to everybody. Whatever feels comfortable, I would give yourself a little bit of space. You're going to feel as your belly starts growing a little bit more, and on certain days or not, you're going to need your feet further apart. I find a nice position to start up against the wall and just step one foot in front, then the other foot, and then take your feet about a hip width distance apart. I have a mat down, but keep in mind if you don't have a mat, that's fine. In fact, for this, you might not want to touch the mat. It might be a little slippery. You're going to place your head up against the wall. So just being here, we can even start before we do the wall slides, just kind of moving the arms up and down. This is like a little bonus, like a little warm up. So just letting the rib cage relax, just kind of connecting with your breathing. Breathing in as you take your arms overhead, stretch, and exhale. So again, this is also a great workout for anybody, especially if you are sitting in front of your computer doing conference calls, talking to clients, or just doing your work from home. If you've got other kiddos and you just need to stretch. So as many of those as you want, just kind of getting those arms up against the wall. Now, all you're going to do is exactly what it says. You're just going to start sliding down the wall. All the way down and sliding back up. So my wall's not very slippery today, so that's okay. So you're going to slide down. How low can you go? And slide back up. As you lower down. Just allow your breathing to just be even. Breathe whichever feels more natural to you. Sometimes I get more specific with clients on like how I want them to breathe, but for right now I just want you to keep breathing. And you're gonna feel this is gonna change over time. You might not be able to go as low. Again, you might have to adjust your feet. We're going to step off the wall. You could also, but keep in mind, for the pregnant mamas, you could make this a little more challenging and go single leg, but this is starting off naturally during pregnancy. Your sense of balance does start to change as the belly starts to grow. So this may or may not be something that you want to do. But if you're earlier on in your pregnancy and you've been working out, this is a great thing to add in to make it a little more challenging, or if you're not pregnant, feel free to challenge your workout. We're going to step away from the wall, and you're going to take a big, wide stance. So a lot of times, women when they're pregnant ask questions about like, what can I do? What will be helpful during my labor, delivery? You know, keeping yourself rested as much as you can, eating well, and some movement as per your physician allows. But you know, there's some things that maybe certain movements might feel better as far as it being beneficial or not. Everybody's pregnancy, labor, and delivery is different. So there isn't a magic move that allows the baby to come better. That's just life. But again, this is also a great workout, a great exercise for everybody. You're gonna do big wide squats. Whatever you feel comfortable for your feet. Most people want it in a turnout. So when you're going out, and then you're gonna ground and press through your feet. So this is just, again, getting some big, I like the big wide squat because it's very universal and friendly for everybody and friendly the whole time of your pregnancy. So maybe your squat today is just gonna be here. That might be as far as you go. Maybe just a little bend in the knee. Do as much as you want. Yeah, how many you feel comfortable? 5, 10, maybe 10's way too much. 5 might be your max. And then we're gonna come all the way, bring the feet together. We're gonna come slowly down onto our mat, one knee at a time, onto all fours. So we're gonna find that lovely all fours position and find connection with the abdominals and pelvic floor. So while you're pregnant, we really work all our supporting muscles. We don't get into the of, you know, our abdominal muscles that we think of. We're not doing crunches or anything like that because that's going to promote the separation of your abdominal wall. So we want to just allow that to naturally separate. And then after baby, after some weeks of recovery and after cleared to work out, we slowly start to work those muscles again so they naturally find their way back together. Future video talking a little bit more about that. So we're just gonna leave that for what it is. But what can we do? We can work on stabilization of the muscles. So you're gonna come into that neutral spine. So it should just feel like you're gonna balance a teacup on your back. And we're gonna do some movement of the pelvis. So can you feel as if you're lifting and drawing your belly button up into baby or up into your spine? Again, there might be an audience that's watching this that doesn't have a baby in there, and that's okay. Or maybe you've been cleared after baby. But again, I'm gonna refer to baby a little bit more. So you're gonna move your hips right to left, kind of like you're wagging your tail. Be generous with this movement. Allow it to happen. I'm gonna start talking to you about what sensations to feel and to think about like in your pelvic floor as we're gonna move through these little bits of cat and cow. So question, cat and cow, what can we do? How much? This is too much for pregnancy. Just allow it to come back to neutral, but go ahead and get that arch and push your mat away. But when you come back, maybe just what's comfortable, just a little bit of a back bend, because again, it's pushing into the wall of your abs, which are already naturally splitting to allow for your belly to grow. So just be gentle with any little things of bending your back. But allow a little movement because it just feels generally nice. So coming back, so I'm going to keep talking as we're moving. You can repeat for this as much as you want though. I'm just showing you different exercises. So think you have, what I'm doing now is think you have a hula hoop. And you're going to try to do your hula hoop. So now we're loosening this up. So these are perfect exercises. These are things if you're working with a doula, they might be talking to you about these, but this just feels good if your back is getting tired, if you're starting to feel like some sciatic pain, just kind of getting some movement. So think like you're working a hula hoop. And make sure you reverse. So if you go 5 one direction, go 5 the other direction. All right, we're gonna take a seat. So lots of different things. Just allow that to be natural. Wave, move, forward, back, all that. And we're just gonna talk, we're gonna take a seat and we're talk a little bit, very briefly, but I'm gonna post another video talking specifically about connecting with your pelvic floor. But we'll sit for a moment and find like what this elevator concept is, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more in another video about just pelvic floor. We're gonna sit here for just a moment, just cross legs out in front, whatever you wanna do. And we're just gonna think about lifting the rib cage up slightly, which is already wanting to lift. We're gonna talk a little bit about what you should kind of feel like, how you engage the pelvic floor. You should feel when you're sitting that you're sitting right on top of these little bones. They're called your sits bones. So you're sitting right on top. You're gonna wanna feel like going backwards. Like this is kind of how we sink down. That's why we get pain in our back. So think about sitting right up there. And then imagine like you're drawing your pelvic floor would be like an elevator, and you wanna bring it up not quite to the penthouse. So it's learning, and I'm gonna again talk in a future video about what that means and how to start controlling and releasing your pelvic floor, which is way more important if you're looking into delivery and your labor remember is how to release your pelvic floor. But you want to think like you're lifting up into your body, kind of like you're cutting off the flow of urination. That's a little bit of that sensation, like people have heard the word Kegel. But a lot of times it's very difficult to find what that connection is. So you want to feel like you're kind of trying to like lift up underneath you, like your undercarriage, your pelvic floor, but not like you're going all the way up to your penthouse. And again, I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a future video, but I want to get into some more movement. So I just moved my legs. So I'm making kind of like a cross in the front with my leg and then one onto my side. I was a cheerleader in high school. We called this like a wrestling cheerleader sit. So it's just a little bit more solid base for you to work with. And we're gonna do some side bends. So you're just gonna bend to the side. All I'm doing is I'm just letting this other arm rest at the side. I'm anchoring the whole, all the way down to my butt. I'm anchoring that down onto my mat or my floor. I'm not pushing up, I'm just lifting up, so that'll get some obliques working, and then stretching over to the other side. And then coming up and stretching over. And up and stretch. So this is called mermaid stretch. Then you'll come here, we're gonna shift and turn our sit. So we're going the other way. Just because it does, it's the way you're sitting does kind of change how this stretch feels. It's a stretch, it's also an exercise because you're having, this part you're lifting, I'm not pushing up with my hands. I'll even show you, I'll demonstrate that. Just don't even touch, you can touch, but don't even touch your mat and just allow you to feel that work that has to happen to get you to switch to the other side. And then coming back down. I'm gonna hit this and this is part 1, and then I'm gonna come back with some side work and finishing on part 2. See you soon.